Well, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl, Color Me Badland, back right before the new year to share two extremely affordable after 5 fragrances. If you don't have these in your collection, before we get into that, welcome back to my channel. Again, this is your girl, Color Me Badland. Just to give you a little bit of a brief scenario about what we do here on our channel, we talk about all things beauty, inside and out. We talk about fragrances, the fragrances that are in my collection, those that are in my wish list, on my wish list. It's a lot of them. We'll talk about makeup, hair, love, relationships, romance, you name it, we are going to tap into it. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm super excited because I normally don't do this. Today, what I want to do is share a his and her fragrance, extremely affordable fragrance that is totally for after 5 wear and usage. I don't know if these are my favorite fragrances or not, but I'm going to share with you which one I love the most, and then you can buy both of them and wear them both at the same time. So let's get into it. This is from the designer house of Guess. You probably see these fragrances everywhere from online to YouTube channels to when you go into your discounter stores. You name it, you're going to find these fragrances. Recently, I've really gotten into wanting to know more about these fragrances from this particular design house because they came out with a banger back in 2021, early 2022, which was Seductive Red. And that fragrance is my good from the good. I'm on my second bottle of that fragrance. This time I got the big one. And so I've been really intrigued with the House of Guess fragrances and wanted to kind of dig a little deeper and tell you guys what I think. So the first scent that we're going to go into is Guess Seductive. I think this one is for men. Let me double check. Yeah, so this one is Guess Seductive Noir Home Guess for men. Of course, anyone who wants to wear this fragrance absolutely can. This is the bottle here. So we're going to do like a men's versus a women's, and I'm going to tell you which one I think is better. I've never done this before. I don't think I have, so we're going to do it today. And so far so good. So far I really like this one. It is a fresh, spicy, amber, fruity, citrus, aromatic fragrance for men. Of course, anyone who wants to wear this scent absolutely can. I've told you on many occasions that I absolutely love a unisex fragrance. This is a little bit more so on the male side, but I definitely could smell a female rocking this if you like a really heavy, seductive, more of a masculine scent and fragrance. This is also aromatic. I'm going to spray a little bit of this out just to see on the back of my hand. It has a really nice sprayer on it. I don't know if you saw that, but it's really nice. This one it has a really nice aftershave kind of scent to it when it first blasts out. So if there's something that you're not interested in and that you hate the smell of things that smell like aftershave, this will probably kind of throw you off and be a little bit off-putting when you first spray out on it. Okay, but you gotta wait for it. Now here's the kicker of this. It's aromatic, which I again love an aromatic scent. It has lavender in it. And I could smell the lavender on the first spray out, and I was like, I can't do it. But I let this calm down. We let it calm down a little bit. You've got your vanilla. It's a warm, spicy, it's woody, and it's semi-sweet. So you really get a nice treat out of this, but you have to give it at least 30 to 60 seconds in order for it to calm down. Okay, so it's starting to kind of calm down a little bit now. And we're starting to get a little bit of what this fragrance is all about. Just so you know, if you haven't heard of this fragrance or you haven't gotten your nose on this one just yet, it's only been out since 2019. This is really nice and really different. It's starting to develop. It depends on your skin. It depends on your body chemistry, on how this kind of mellows out on you. I'm a girl. So this is going to smell totally different on me than it would smell on a gentleman. Our pheromones are totally different. Body chemistry is totally different. And how men and women project fragrances and colognes is totally different. But I just want to share with you what I think about this cologne, okay? So your top notes, or what you're supposed to smell when you first blast this one out, is nutmeg. You get grapefruit and black pepper. It's really off-putting. For most noses, it will be, but I think it's extremely interesting. Okay, then your middle notes are what I love to call your heart notes, and that is apple. You get your lavender and orange blossom. Now, I'll tell you for me what saved this cologne for me. What saved this for me was the apple and the orange blossom. It kind of cancels out that lavender just a little bit, but you can still kind of get that kind of tranquil scent, which I would assume is what and why this is called a noir fragrance. It makes it a little bit darker because you got a little bit more of a soothing component to this, as well as at the base your tonka bean, your sandalwood, and liquid amber. So those are your notes for this particular cologne. Now let's check out the female version of this fragrance. All right, so let's get into the female version of this fragrance. And I do want to set a quick disclaimer out there that these fragrances are labeled men and women, but anyone who wants to wear these fragrances absolutely can. I could totally smell a gentleman rocking this fragrance. This is pretty heavy. Both of these scents came out actually in 2019, which makes sense. I'm going to kind of wipe this off. I don't think I've worn this out yet. It's been in my collection probably since it came out, and or maybe like a year after it came out, because I think I've probably had this since maybe last holiday season or somewhere in there. It hasn't been in my collection that long. Sometimes they have like these gift sets like I was sharing with you guys. If you don't collect fragrances or you're just getting into it, especially during the holiday season, you will find a lot of good deals on fragrances like this. And that's probably when I had this added to my collection. It's got so many fingerprints on it, and I have no idea why, because I don't wear this fragrance. I think when I first sniffed that one out of my youngins, I tried to compare the two, and that's probably why, because I really don't, and I do this a lot, so that probably. So Guess Seductive, without the blah blah blah, Guess Seductive Noir Women by Guess is an amber floral fragrance. You will notice on a lot of my recordings and shares of fragrances that I love an amber floral fragrance. I just do. I don't know what the color of the juice is on this one, but it's probably dark because it is a noir. So you probably want to be careful when it comes to spraying this on your clothing. I can smell it already. This takes a really, really particular nose to like, and there's something about this that just kind of rubs me the wrong way. And I think that's the reason why I really don't wear this one. It's not that I don't like it, but it takes a really, really peculiar scent palette to like this fragrance. It was launched back in 2019, just like the men version. This particular note, the top notes that first blast out are sage, bergamot, and peony. I like sage notes in my fragrances, and most of my fragrances, and most all fragrances nowadays, have bergamot in them. It probably has something to do with the preservation and longevity of a fragrance. I'm not for sure. Your middle notes are iris, jasmine sambac, lily of the valley. Your base notes are vanilla, velvet, and Haitian vetiver. Now, if you notice, some of the notes in the female fragrance are a little bit different than the male fragrance. You'll find a lot of more woodsy notes in the male fragrance, and it's starting to calm down. This smells really, really good. It smells like something that I already have in my collection, or that I've purchased or done a review on before. Something that's a lot less expensive, kind of like an old frag. This does start to change really, really quickly if you give this fragrance a little bit of a chance. Once it starts to die down, definitely it is really, really a nice scent. You start to get that sweetness. I start to get that velvet, a little bit of that vanilla in there, which starts to shine for me in this fragrance. This is really my first time kind of playing around with this scent to find out whether I like it. And normally I can't get past the first blast out on this. I always kind of like spray this and then layer something, spray something on top of it, because that first blast out really, really irks me quite the bit. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Guess Seductive Noir. His and her scents. Yeah. So if you guys are looking for, I got so much on my mind, I try to figure out which one is, you know. Anyway, yeah, so if you're looking for a his and her scent, something that's extremely affordable, very, very complimentary. If you're looking for something to kind of layer on top of one another, play around with, I highly recommend that you add these to your collection, and you may even be able to get a hold of them right before the New Year's and they can kiss. This is, again, Guess Seductive Noir for men, Guess Seductive Noir for women. I highly recommend adding these to your collection. This is on my list of his and her fragrances that complement one another, that will be really, really nice for a sweet, juicy encounter for the new year. Get you some. This is your girl, Color Me Bad Lynn, saying thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate all of your love and your support. Make sure you shout out down in the comments below where you're from. What's your favorite guest fragrance? If you don't have any guest fragrances in your collection and that's just not your thing, what is your favorite fragrance? What are your fragrances that you love to reach for during the holiday season? Perfect duo. I really, really like them. The women's is not, I think the men's is a lot better than the women's scent. It has to wear on me quite a bit. Even though I'm not a huge lavender fan, I think that the male scent for the Seductive Noir won on this one. Yeah, it won. It's a really, really good scent, you guys. But if you guys are looking again for something to wear together to kind of complement one another, I highly recommend adding those two to your collection. Again, this is your girl, Color Me Bad Lynn. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscription button if you're not already a part of Color Me Bad Nation. So happy to meet your acquaintance. Hopefully we'll gain an opportunity to meet you over on Instagram. Toodles!